Hey everyone, and welcome back. Happy Thursday. In today's topic, we're going to be discussing one of the current debates going on in Capitol Hill right now, and that is whether or not lawmakers should be able to trade stocks or should be able to perhaps just trade like index funds, things like that. Now, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, up to probably the past week or so, has been firmly for the idea that lawmakers should be able to trade stocks. And that may or may not be because her husband has had a lot of success doing so, and her family has been able to gain a lot of wealth in the stock market. So, of course, she's going to be for trading stocks. Now, just recently, it has come out that she has went ahead and given the green light to lawmakers, even though it's really not up to her whether or not they can pass such a law. But she has given the green light that now apparently she is okay with having some type of restriction. Now, some people say that it's probably better that lawmakers aren't able to trade individual stocks. Say, for example, if they know something is going to come up in law that's going to be passed, that's going to benefit like electric vehicles, then in that case, before that law was passed, let's say Nancy Pelosi goes ahead and invests into Tesla or some other sector that would benefit electric vehicles because she knows that something is going to pass that's going to benefit electric vehicles, and therefore the stock is most likely going to increase in the future. But if she gets in before the increase, if she gets in at the bottom, obviously that's going to help her out. So that would be one good reason to go ahead and ban lawmakers from trading stocks. Now, something like an index fund, let's say like VU, that holds, now index funds, for those of you that aren't familiar, it's basically something that holds multiple stocks. So you're not just holding Apple, you're not just holding Google, but you might be holding, let's say, 8% Apple, 6% Google, Johnson & Johnson. You're holding like hundreds, if not thousands of stocks within this index fund. So you're not directly investing in one company that may benefit in the future. So you hold less risk that way. So there's definitely some lawmakers that are in favor of, hey, maybe we should be able to invest in index funds. And another proponent of that, of allowing lawmakers to invest in perhaps an index fund, continued on from here on out, and maybe just not individual stocks, is that it's probably a good idea to make sure that the people that we do elect to go into Washington actually have some type of incentive that the economy continues to go well in the future. Because if they're invested into index funds, and these index funds are going down, the stock market is going down, it's also going to be hurting themselves and their family as well. So we want to give them some type of incentive to make sure that the stock market continues to go up. That way it continues to help us, it continues to help American families, and then of course it helps them as well. So at a recent press conference this week, Nancy Pelosi was once again pressed by reporters on whether or not lawmakers should go ahead and ban stocks. So let's take a listen.
Yes, sir.
Madam Speaker, on stocks, I know you said a few weeks back that if members want to enact a ban on trading for lawmakers, you're open to that, you're okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, in light of recent reporting, do you have maybe a majority of your caucus now behind this idea?
Oh.
And secondly, I know that the legislation is still in infancy. Will spouses be included as well?
Well, let me just... I'm sorry, who did?
Sorry?
Who said it was important?
Walter Shaw is an ethics expert who said this is important. Others have said
I don't know who he is. Okay. What matters to me is what my members think. And as
Well, a member has told me she's prepared to vote against it if it doesn't include spouses.
but you know what? I'm a big believer in our committees, and we've tasked the House Administration Committee to review the options that members are putting forth, and they have different views on the subject. But I'd said that a certain criteria that I wanted to see was whatever design they have for that. That's one. But the other is we have to tighten the fines on those who violate the Stock Act. But it's certainly not sufficient to deter behavior. And then the third is just really, it has to be government-wide. We make a disclosure every year of our financial disclosure, that's what it is. And then in addition to that, on a regular basis, when there's a stock transaction, to report that. The court system, the third branch of government, the judiciary, has no reporting. The Supreme Court has no disclosure. It has no reporting of stock transactions, and it makes important decisions every day. I do believe in the integrity of people in public service. I want the public to have that understanding. We have to do this to deter something that we see as a problem, but it is a competence issue, and if that's what the members want to do, then that's what we will do. But the Supreme Court and the judiciary, even the chairman, the Chief Justice has pointed out some of what he flirted with the word, or maybe used the word scandals that have happened in the judiciary. So they're listening to members about how it affects members. I'm also saying that we need, and our members have been saying this for years, why does the Supreme Court of the United States have no disclosure, financial disclosure, and now that we have the Stock Act, do that. There's another consideration, as you know, in the executive branch, when they divest of their stock, they don't pay capital gains. So that's an interesting feature, but it's complicated, and members will figure it out, and then we'll go forward with what the consensus is.
Will it be sometime this year that you're expected to sort of vote?
Well, yeah. I mean, I assume that they'll have it pretty soon. They're having meetings, I think, not as we speak, but in the course of now. But just in friendship, to say I know one person who's going to vote against it. We had one person to vote against the Competes Act, too, the other day. But we had a tremendous, tremendous victory. What we're trying to build is consensus. Consensus. The plural of anecdote is not data. And what we want to do is have data that builds consensus. Yes?